Hi everyone, welcome back. This video has been requested by one of my followers called Gail. She has a channel herself called Gail. I'm going to put a link in the sidebar to that because she's one of the best people on YouTube. I love watching her videos and I'd highly recommend that you go and check that out. So Gail's actually asked for a review of a blusher product by Illamasqua called Rude, which is a cream blusher. Illamasqua make two types of blusher. They make powder blushers and they make cream blushers. I own quite a few of both different types, so if you have any other sort of Illamasqua blushes that you're interested in, if you just drop me a line and see if I've got them, I'm more than happy to sort of show them on camera or whatever. I have done a blog post swatching a lot of the blushes as well, so if you check out my blog then you might find the one you're looking for there. So okay, this is Rude, which is a cream blusher. That's probably the most realistic shot of the colour that I'm going to get today because the lighting's really bad. It's basically a peachy shade with a pink undertone. A lot of people say that this is like a cream version of NARS Gina. I'm not sure about that because I don't own Gina by NARS, and I can't recall having seen it, whether it looks like this, but okay. Both of the types of blushes cost around £16, I believe, and they're available either at the counters or on the website, so you can check that out as well. When you first get these cream blushes, you open them and they may have, especially in hot weather, they may have sort of beadings of oil on them, and that's not because the product's gone off or anything like that. It's because it sort of sweats a little bit in hot weather. It doesn't sweat on your face, it's just in the pot. They contain quite a lot of like emollient, so they're quite moisturising, but that comes out in the hot weather in the form of like little beads of oil on top, but they mix in, they don't affect the product in any way, they don't affect the colour result in any way, so just sort of try not to let that bother you if you do get one of these. So the colour is really pretty, it looks scary in the pot, but I'm going to show you how I apply this. I use a 188 brush from MAC because both types of blusher are extremely pigmented. You only need a touch. Start off and build up. Don't sort of swirl your brush around and slap it on like you need to do with some blushes. These do not need that. These need to be treated with gentle, because they are very, very pigmented, both these and the powder type. So basically what I do, I just dab a couple of times literally into it, dab it off on the back of my hand, and then smile and blend. So that is the colour result that I get with Rude. So that's the cheek with it on, and that's the cheek without it on. So as you can see, a little goes a long way. You can also see from the powder, from the cream ones, they leave a nice sheen on the skin. Sometimes I'd set that with powder, or use MAC setting powder, invisible setting powder, which sets the colour but doesn't change the effect of it, if that makes sense. And sometimes I don't, but they last really long on the skin. You'll get a good sort of 6 to 8 hours out of an application without touch-ups. And the good thing about these cream blushes as well, I'm just going to do the other cheek so I don't look odd, is that they are multifunctional. They can be used as a lipstick too. That's better. So I'll demonstrate this with Rude, which looks like this. So, as you will notice if you've been on the website, they have a lot of wild and wacky colours. They've got bright reds, they've got plums, they've got purples, lots and lots of really wild colours. But if you bear in mind that these need a light touch, you would not load these on unless you wanted to, which is fine, you know, do what you want with them. But for every day I would recommend just a very light touch, and that they are multifunctional. They do serve as lip glosses as well. So I think they're worth it. I really, everybody knows I love Illamasqua, so you know, you were expecting a positive review. I've tried to be, you know, as honest as I can and stuff. I really like this colour. But I want to tell you about another shade I've got in the cream blushes, which is called Lies. This is advertised as a blusher on the website, but I wouldn't recommend this as a blusher. What I use this for is a highlighter, because as you can see from the swatch, it comes out really pale but shimmery. And I just basically, this is one of my favourite highlighters. I just use that in the C shape around the eye, like so, blend it out, use it with my fingers. You can also use this on top of a strong lipstick to mute it down. Again, light touch is needed. I'm just dabbing my finger into this product. This is also a good eyeshadow base as well, because if you've got a lot of matte eyeshadows but you want to make them shimmery, if you add a tiny bit of this, you do not need a lot, like a tiny bit, the smallest amount you can imagine, onto your eyelid, it will make them, it will add a little bit of a glitz to the eyeshadows. So that's Lies. Okay, as you can see, it really is shimmery. There's no glitter in it, it's just a sheen. It adds a sheen, which you can sort of see on the skin. A couple of other things to tell you about. In the powder blushes, there's a lot of brown shades, and these are great for contouring. If you're pale like me, I'd recommend this colour, which is Rumour, which is a very pale brown, and you can really build that up to give a really defined cheekbone. If you're a bit darker, then there's this shade called Risk. This, I sort of was sent this, but it's not a very good shade for me. I use this more as a eye contour shade, so I do still use it, but just not as a blusher. So that's those two. And also in the powder shadows, there's this blush called Excite, which looks scary orange in the pot, but it is one of my favourite blushes ever. It is orange, it does look orange on. It's gorgeous in the summertime if you've got a little slight bit of a tan, or you've used fake tan. These blushes, these powder blushes are all matte. They do not look matte on the skin. They look sort of like a natural matte colour. So it's like they pick up some of the vitality in your skin, and they shine. You know, it gives them a sheen, or I don't know quite how it happens, but they do not look like a flat matte shade. That is a gorgeous, even pale people like me can get away with that with a light tone. And if you are scared of bright colours, another one I would recommend is called Lover, which is this very, very pale True Peach shade. Very easy to wear. You don't have to use such a light hand with this. I wear this all the time, and I don't have to. I mean, I wear this a lot, and I can see I've barely bruised the surface of it. I don't know if it's going to pick it up, but there's still hatchings and, you know, on the surface of that blusher, because I have hardly used any of it, and I use this all the time. So these blushes last a long time. They stay on the skin well. And this is for both the cream and powder forms. They stay on the skin really well. I have a lot of trouble with blushes just disappearing on me. MAC blushes are a waste of time and money. On me particularly, they just disappear. These ones don't. They stay on, they give a good result, they're blendable, they're easy to work with, and I really, really like them. So that's my review. I hope you found that useful, Gail. Please let me know what you think of the review, and if you've got any other questions that I've failed to answer, then obviously leave a comment below and I'll do my best to sort of address that to you. Alright, thanks very much for the request, and thanks very much for watching. Bye bye.